on a national level, replicating the Davao model. The Davao model referred to the system involving payment and reward. The Davao model involves 3 levels of payment of reward. First is the reward if the suspect is killed. Second, if is the funding of planned operations. And the third is the refund of operational expenses.
Mr. Chair, I'm actually shocked by the contents of the affidavit. So I'll be asking clarificatory questions. I'll be focusing dun sa nabanggit na reward system, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, sa affidavit ni Colonel Garma, binanggit niya na siya ay dating pinatawag ni former President Rodrigo Duterte. Nung pinatawag siya, ibinahagi ba yung plano na i-implement nationwide yung war on drugs? Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, nung mayor si former President Rodrigo Duterte sa Davao, implemented na doon ang war on drugs based sa kung paano natin siya ngayon napoperceive. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mr. Chair, at least ngayon, buti po ay na-admit iyon ni Colonel Garma dahil nung nakaraang mga pagtanong po natin ay hindi pa agad din yon na napuput on record dito sa komite. At least po ngayon ay alam na po natin talaga once and for all. Mr. Chair, nung station commander si Colonel Garma, nung panahon ni former President Rodrigo Duterte as mayor, ibig sabihin po ba nun ay, given her role, isa po siya sa mga nag-implement ng war on drugs sa Davao. Tama po ba iyon, Mr. Chair?
Paki-clarify mo lang yung question.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, ang tanong ko po dahil naging station commander po si Colonel Garma noong Davao Mayor si Rodrigo Duterte. So ibig sabihin po nun, given her role, ay isa po siya sa mga nag-implement ng war on drugs sa Davao.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, nag-implement po siya nun dahil kasama po siya dun sa mga na-mention kanina from NUPL, yung Davao Boys and Girls. Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, can I explain my answer, Mr. Chair, so that maintindihan po ni Congressman?
Sige.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Pakilapit lang po yung microphone
Yes,
sa inyo.
This is how it works actually. Pag mag-conduct po ng police operation, kasi po ang police, if the operation po is successful and you file the case in court, you will submit a report sa City Hall monthly at nakalagay po doon na na-file po yung kaso, nakalagay din po yung IS number po, proof na na-file po yung kaso and the details of the case. And once i-submit mo to, yung operational expenses po ay nare-refund. That's 5,000 pesos per case po, per operation. Ngayon po, kung malaki po yung operation mo at kailangan mo ng operational fund, gagawa ka ng COPLAN, you will also request po sa City Hall for the funding. of the operation plan. Now, in case din po na nagkaroon po ng operation and subsequently po nagkaroon po ng death on the part of the suspects po during a legitimate operation, meron din pong corresponding amount po na binibigay, Mr. Chair. So that is how it works po.
So, Mr. Chair, ibig sabihin ay totoo ngang merong Davao Boys and Girls na nagpatupad ng war on drugs. To confirm, Mr. Chair, tama po. Na yun yung mode of operations as described. Tama po ba? Yun yung kinakonduct, yun yung ginagawa nitong Davao Boys and Girls.
Ganun po yung sistema po ng how you will refund yung operational expenses. Kung ano po yung tawag nila at ano po yung ipinangalan ay for me it's not relevant as long as yung process on how the funds are being provided po, yun po yung ina-explain ko lang po. If that is how po ang pag-perceive, that's how it is politically described po, then that's it po.
Okay, Mr. Chair, dun sa reward system, kasi nasa affidavit din po, na nire-refund ang operational expenses, tapos may funding din para sa planned operations, ito yung co-plan, tapos may reward din kapag napatay yung suspect. Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, may nakuha po kasi tayong impormasyon, although nung mga nakaraan ay parang haka-haka lang siya, pero ngayon na nag-hold tayo na investigations ay nakakakuha po tayo ng mga sources na pagdating po dun sa reward system ay kapag ang napatay ay isang pusher, yun yung tinatawag na level 1, tapos 50,000 ang reward. Mako-confirm po ba yun ni Colonel Garma, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, I am not so familiar po sa specific amounts. But true, there is a amount po per level. I think Colonel Leonardo can explain po kung ano yung specific amount. Kapag baka magkamali po akong sasabihin na 50 nga o 100 o 1 million yun. But there is a corresponding amount per level, Mr. Chair.
Sige. Mr. Chair, sa information na nakuha natin ay merong 4 na levels. Yung level 1 ay 50K para sa pusher. Kung napatay ay pusher. Kung big time pusher naman ay yun yung level 2, 100K. Tapos kung narco-cops, narco-politicians, or protectors ay 300 to 500K. Tapos kapag trader, manufacturer, chemist, yung mga ninja cops, or mga financiers, yun yung level 4, 1 million yung reward kapag napatay sila. Familiar po ba iyon kay Colonel Garma? Yung ganong leveling and amounts?
May amount po, Mr. Chair, from what I understand, starting 20,000 to 1 million. But I'm not familiar sa mga bracketing po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, yung 20K, yun po yung mga street level or mga small time na natatag na involved sa drug trade. Tama po ba?
Most likely kasi yun po yung pinakamaliit na amount as far as that's I know, Mr. Chair.
And to compare, Mr. Chair, yung mga napatay dun sa Davao Penal Colony ay dahil ang kanilang task di umano doon sa drug trade ay yung pagiging mga chemist. Kaya kapag ganun, level 4 sila. Kaya naging 1 million per head yung presyo, kumbaga, or yung reward para sa pagpatay sa kanila. Tas dahil 3 sila, kaya 3 million. Tama po ba, Mr. Chair?
Hindi ko po alam, Mr. Chair, hindi ko nakita kung magkano kung talagang mayroon pong na-classify sila kung anong level, ay hindi ko po nakita kasi.
Pero you can confirm na yung pinakamataas ay 1 million.
As far as I know, Mr. Chair.
Kaya, Mr. Chair, dun sa pag-i-implement ng war on drugs on a national level, dun sa pakikipag-usap ni Colonel Garma kay former President Rodrigo Duterte, sinabi ba niya na meron siyang layunin na yung Davao model ay i-implement sa buong bansa? May ganun po ba, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And Mr. Chair, doon sa ganitong plano ay on loop po doon ang incumbent senator na si Bongo. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, I didn't get the question. Kindly repeat po, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, doon sa plano na itong Davao model ay implement siya sa buong bansa, based sa naging affidavit, gusto nating ma-confirm na mayroong papel din dito si Senator Bongo. Tama po ba?
Sa aking understanding, it would appear, Mr. Chair, kasi po siya ang minimit ni Sir Leonardo.
Mr. Chair, kapag may napatay na suspect doon sa drug trade, kanino unang nire-report yung mga instances na merong napatay?
Sa ground kasi may gagawa ka ng report, Mr. Chair, spot report. And then, meron pong phone number na na-disseminate sa lahat po ng RD, PD, Chief of Police, kung saan po tinetext po yung result ng police operation. And these phone numbers are handled, hinahawakan po nung mga tao po ni Sir Leonardo.
Mr. Chair, since naging bahagi po si Colonel Garma ng War on Drugs sa Davao, familiar po ba siya or alam po ba niya kung meron ding kompetisyon sa iba't ibang mga police stations sa number ng mga napatay? Lalo na't kung meron palang reward na napatay yung isang tao as compared to inaresto lang. So meron bang ganong tipo ng kompetisyon among police stations?
Wala pa, Mr. Chair, during our time.
Mr. Chair, pagdating naman sa kung paano na-incentivize yung mga iba't ibang police stations or police officers, ano po yung mga pamantayan dati para masabi na ang isang police station ay effective sa pag-conduct niya ng war on drugs?
Meron kasing, sa amin nung sa Davao kasi po, it depends po kasi sa station na hinahawakan mo kasi naka-profile na po yan kung anong classification po ng drugs, kung infested po ba ng drugs yung mga barangay. So meron na pong projection po. Kasi meron po kami noong tinatawag na yung may baseline po kasi kami na naka-establish during that time. So projected po kung ilan ang possible arrest mo every month, Mr. Chair. But of course, dumarating din po yung point na wala ka na mahuli o sobrang baba. Depende kasi sa performance din ng patrol sa area as part of preventing po yung occurrence po ng illegal drug trade. So mamimili ka lang naman mag-ooperate ka o intensify mo ang police patrol para wala kang mahuli at hindi po matuloy mangyari ang bentahan po ng droga. You just choose between the two naman po.
Kaya Mr. Chair, yun yung tungkol sa reward system kapag may napatay na mga suspect. Kahit nga, we would like to underscore na mga suspect pa lang yun. Mr. Chair, pagdating dun sa funding ng mga planned operations, sino po ang nagfa-fund ng mga ganong operasyon, yung tinatawag na co-plan, batay dun sa affidavit?
What I understand pong alam ko po, pag malalaking police operation, the case operation plan ay sinasubmit po kay Sir Leonardo for funding. And I think si Sir Leonardo po maka-explain kung saan po galing ang pondo, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, sa pagkakaalam ni Colonel Garma, meron bang mga private individuals or corporations na nagbibigay din ng, kumbaga, we can say, donation para sa ganitong mga planned operations?
I'm not aware, Mr. Chair. Wala akong alam po.
Mr. Chair, pare-pareho ba yung amount na binibigay para dun sa kada operation na kinoconduct?
Hindi ko rin po alam, Mr. Chair, kaya hindi ako ang nag-evaluate ng mga koplan. Basta ang alam ko lang, sinasubmit po sa kanya and siya po ang magpapacilitate for the funding, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and Mr. Chair, dun sa pangatlong tipo ng itong paggamit ng pera for these plans, yung refund for operational expenses, ano-ano pong mga tipo ng expenses ito? Kasi kung nire-refund siya, ibig sabihin, meron munang nag-aabono. Ganun po ba ang sistema sa pag-conduct ng mga operations? Nag-aabono muna yung mga involved na mga police, tapos saka sila manghihingi ng refund?
I will explain further, Mr. Chair. Yung real McCoy kasi sa ground, Mr. Chair. The real talk po tayo sa ground. Talaga namang wala pong pondo talaga. Mag-aabono ka talaga. Pati by bus money, mag-aabono ang chief of police diyan para mamarkahin yan. Kung minsan nasusunog na itatakbo, wala na. Tapos wala kang mahuli, hindi mo talaga marirefund yung pera mo. So talagang abonado ang chief of police at saka mga operatiba. That is why in Davao, once successful po ang police operation na file mo ang kaso, may IS number po, proof that you filed the case, i-refund po ng 5,000 pesos yung mga expenses like photocopy, buy bus money, payment for the agent, pagkain po ng suspect pag dinala mo po sa court, kasi maghihintay ka rin, tatagal ka rin sa korte. So those are the expenses which is very decent enough naman, just enough para lang maibalik at ma-refund po yung mga personal expenses na nagastos po ng chief of police o ng mga operatiba during police operation, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, dun sa mga nagpapa-refund for operational expenses, saan o kanino kinukuha yung mga pang-refund na mga amounts?
Are we referring to the national scope, Mr. Chair? My question lang, or Davao?
Sa Davao, Mr.
Davao
Chair.
noon, we have to submit the after activity report sa City Hall po. And then may pipirmahan kang voucher na ma-refund yung lahat ng expenses.
How about nung naging national na or nationwide na yung scale ng implementation ng war on drugs? Kanino din kinukuha yung refund?
Lahat po ay kay Colonel Leonardo, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so far, Mr. Chair, mas yun muna yung aking mga tanong. Pero so far, based sa mga narinig natin hanggang ngayon, Mr. Chair, ina-absorb ko pa rin talaga dahil hindi usual na marinig natin na merong nagko-confirm na meron talagang reward system, yung mga amounts, ranging from yung small time pala na mga kahit inosente, 20K yung presyo para sa kanila. Tapos yung mga big time, kumbaga, tig 1 milyon bawat ulo. And from Davao ay naging massive ito hanggang sa buong bansa. Kaya naman pala ganado yung mga sangkot na mga pulis na kapag neutralization talaga ang layunin ay pumatay dahil pala ganun kalaki yung reward na kanila makukuha, Mr. Chair. So yun muna sa ngayon. Maraming salamat.
Mama Rohina, kasi dito sa sinabi mo rito that tinawagan ka ni former President Duterte 5 a.m. in the morning. And during that time that you were with him, kayo lang ba dalawa?
No, Mr. Chair.
Sinong kasama nyo sa sasakyan?
Yeah, it's just the two of us, sir, Mr. Chair.
So, ikaw ang sumundo kay former President?
I have my vehicle kasi, so nag-drive ako papunta doon. And then sabi niya, sasakay na lang siya sa loob ng sasakyan.
So, you were driving the car?
Yes, sir.
And this is a usual thing for you to do with the former president when you were still the chief of police of Davao?
Hindi naman, Mr. Chair.
So, hindi siya regular na ginagawa nyo na sinusundo mo siya doon? Or, no? Kasi very unusual yung...
No, Mr. Chair, that was the first time that
First time to?
pinapunta ako doon. Yes.
At nagtaka ka rin dahil presidente na siya noon. President-elect na siya.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Taka
And
din ako.
this was May 2016. Hindi pa siya nag-oath.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And do you have some inkling on what you were going to talk about or wala naman?
Hindi ako nagtatanong kasi, Mr. Chair. I just complied with the instructions.
Bakit ka pinagkakatiwalaan ng former president? I was hindi naman confused but suddenly parang lang nabibigla lang ako because you were denying your relationship with him, right? Even there are issues about you and the former president having a romantic relationship in accordance to what we have read doon sa mga issue that was tackled by Montulfo. You will be denying that you have a relationship with the former president?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
At yung pagtitiwala sa iyo, paano nag-start yung pagtitiwala? Kasi there must be something on it. That's the reason why he called you and he was with you. Ano yun?
Mr. Chair, kung titingnan mo kasi yung structure ng officer sa Davao City Police Office, I am the most senior female police officer. And then the first time that I reported also sa Davao City Police Office when he was the mayor and I was just a lieutenant during that time, it appears that I'm the first PNPA officer who was assigned in Davao City. I think it was his first time to encounter. I was only 23 years old during that time. So parang naging familiar din siya sa akin. And then when I work sa Davao City Police Office na mayor siya or naging vice mayor siya, perhaps siguro nakita niya rin yung how I work, Mr. Chair. Until eventually nung naging senior na po yung rank ko as an admin officer, I would attend mga conferences and I am the only female officer present in the room and I used to be the spokesperson of the station commanders because nahiya sila magtanong.
So in other words, matagal kayong matagal kayong nagkasama sa trabaho. It's all about work.
Yes, Mr.
Walang
Chair.
something that niligawan ka niya o naging
To some, it would appear na parang nanligaw but for me, it's just naman po, just work, Mr.
okay.
Chair.
Dito kasi may binabangkit ka, no? Yung, well, kanina na-mention na yun, yung 3 level, no? Yung patayan, tapos babayaran, tapos yung pondo doon sa plant operation. Kasi binanggit mo dito na mayroong pondo para sa plant operation. And the Congress is allotting funds for a Koplan. Meron tayong pondo sa Koplan eh.
Yes.
Why merong pang pondo na binibigay? Is this a separate fund aside from the Koplan that are being utilized by the station? Or it's all the same?
Yeah. Mr. Chair, in reality sa ground, wala naman talagang punto binibigay ang PNP sa Koplan. Yung mga Koplan lang na napupunduhan, national level yan kung meron man. But station level, pag magkandak ka ng mga simultaneous service of search warrant, ikokoplan mo yan because you need the support of other agencies, you will deploy agents, you need money, and you need to pay your agents. So, gagawa ka ng koplan, hindi po yan ina-approve ng PNP. So, ang ginagawa ng local police, they would go to the mayor and ask for funding ng koplan. Ganyan po ang normal na nangyayari po sa ground, Mr. Chair. Hindi po yan pupuntahan ng provincial office o ng regional office.
So in other words, walang pondo na nilalaan sa bawat istasyon kapag nagkakaroon sila ng Koplan. At the PNP or the yung mag-ooperate ng Koplan have to source it out. No? So yun ang sinasabi mo. So, sino si Muking? Kasi may sinabi ka dito si a certain Muking contacted you. Is he Muking Espino?
Parang Espina. Yeah, it's a staff po ni, ano po yan, sa City Hall, sa office po ni Sir Bongo during that time.
Staff to ni Senator Bongo?
Yes po, during that time.
Anong pangalan niya?
Actually, I forgot, Mr. Chair, but she's known with that name, Muking.
Yan, and here, ano, no, may...
Espina.
Espina.
Espina or Espino.
Anyway,
It can be verified anyway.
siguro, Mr. Chairman, to give clarity, on this statement made by Rohina Garma, let's invite this Muking Espino, in the next hearing, no?
Okay.
And sige po, Mr. Chair.
Comsec, please take note and send invitation for our next Quadcom hearing.
Mr. Chairman,
And
I think that certain smoking is signed during the time from Davao. Dinala po sa Malacanang. I think he's USEC doon sa PMS. Kindly check na lang, Comsec.
Would you know the complete and full name of
Ermina?
Muking?
Hindi, check na sa records.
So we can check the records already. Comsec, please coordinate with the PMS and invite the name Muking.
And on number 12, binabanggit mo dito that you learned from Arthur Nasolis via phone that Leonardo had been summoned by the President and was instructed to proceed to Mandaya Hotel in Davao for a meeting. I think, Mr. Chairman, we need to really ask the PNP to look for Arthur Nasolis. What is the status of Arthur Nasolis with regards to this hearing, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, earlier we asked Colonel Cunanan, our liaison to the Philippine National Police, to coordinate with the new CIDG chief, General Torre, and help the committee locate SPO for Arthur Nasolis. He's very material in this investigation, and we need his testimony before this Quadcom. General Torre.
Mr. Chairman, was he cited in contempt already?
Was cited in contempt na.
He was already cited
Okay.
in contempt, and there was an order for his arrest.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Number 14, Rohina, you declined the invitation of Leonardo to join the task force. Kasi dito sinasabi mo, nag-create ng task force. So you declined. Why?
I don't have experience kasi wide experience with regards to that, Mr. Chair. And during that time, there was an instruction and we had a meeting in Davao. The President, Leonardo, Bongo, and I was there. I was called. There was a plan actually that I will join the PMS to handle the police and military matters. So, hindi ako talaga pwede din doon. But eventually, hindi naman din natuloy lahat ang plano. And hindi rin ako sumali as a staff sa Malacanang. And hindi rin ako sumali po dun sa group. And then an order kasi was issued na rin sa akin to report sa CIDG after my schooling.
And what happened doon sa DPWH, you involve yung mga classmates mo, sila Bakay, Bilela, Grijaldo, Tuson, and Duenas.
Yes, Mr.
But
Chair.
there was no meeting at all in accordance with your...
Yes, sa amin po, walang pumasok. Kwentuhan lang talagang po, sir. Separate room po kasi kami. So, kami-kami lang po ang nag-usap, magka-classmate po.
And in accordance with your affidavit, number 19, after the courtesy call, which happened in DPWH, Leonardo informed me that the structure of the intended task force would undergo changes. Ano yung changes na yun?
Nung una po kasi, yung ginawa pong parang structure is masyadong, what do you call this? Very structured po siya talaga, na merong head, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and maraming staff. So, ang nangyari po is na-change, naging simple na lang. Naging simple na meron ng in charge and then meron lang mag-handle ng mag-verify siguro, mag-document, and etc. So hindi na siya tulad na may Luzon na task force, Visayas o Mindanao, which is
So nakita mo
originally,
yung yung
yun ang
structure na
plano.
yun. Nakita mo yung structure na yun.
Yung original structure, nakita ko po, sir, kasi nga ako po yung nag-arrange ng meeting para i-discuss. Pero yung second na simple na, parang wala nang structure kasi parang in addition to your function, parang ganyan na lang po nangyari sa IDG. Ito yung task mo, ito yung task mo, ito yung tasking mo.
Kasi we have received a structure
that
that
is just
you have submitted to us.
That is how the flow looks lang po. It's a diagram but not the structure.
Hindi ito ang
na sasabihin
pinaka-structure.
mo. No, it's just a diagram how communication flows. Yes, Mr. Chair. It's just a communication flow actually.
Okay, from the top to the bottom level.
Yes, it would appear that
All right.
way.
So
It's not a
just
structure.
wanted to inform the body that we have received a diagram of how the money flows, no?
The communication
communication
flows.
and?
Yes. And it would appear also the money would
So,
come in.
makikita natin, Mr. Chair,
So we will go with that.
ang
no? We will go
driving
with that. So,
factor, bakit marami po yung pinatay na mga may hirap dahil may rewards. At itong rewards na ito ay inaano pa yan ng kota, di ba? Tama po ba? Dito sa EJK ni Duterte ay ito po yung driving force, yung reward kung bakit ang dami po mga pinatay na mga may hirap. Kinukumpirma niyo po ba yon, Miss Garma?
Mr. Chair, with regards sa quota po, I think discretion yun ng mga RD, PD. But with regards to the rewards, nag-exist po, Your Honor.
What do you mean?
Sa quota po, hindi po nakotahan.
Okay, so wala yung
discretion.
quota.
Discretion.
Pero yung, Mr. Chair, yung reward system na kasi dito, yung flow ng yung flow chart ng inyong affidavit, basically reward system at may flow of payment, di ba?
Nag-exist po.
Nag-exist.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Nag-exist.
Yes po.
Okay. So, ulitin ko nga, ito yung dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon ng siguro na entice ang mga operatives, ang mga pulis para doon sa EJK. Tama.
Posible po kasi hindi
Okay.
ko rin din alam kung ano po iniisip nila, Your Honor.
Tama kasi
Posible.
sa flow mo kasi, flow ng payment, so mula kay Bongo, di ba? Binibigay yung pera kay Ermina Espino. From Bongo, bumababa kay Edelberto Leonardo. At from kay Leonardo, nagpupunta yan sa chief ng regional SOG, PIDEA, Bucor, hanggang sa CIDG, hanggang sa all regional chief ng CIDG. So, yun po yung flow ng payment. So, tama. Dun sa dun sa ginawa nyong diagram.
Your Honor, kasi kung minsan hindi dumadaan sa RD, parang may naka-assign na focal point. Depende kasi po kung ano naging arrangement. Si Sir Leonardo lang po nakakaalam.
Okay, so
Your
therefore,
Honor.
from Leonardo, and from Bongo, Senator Bongo, lahat napupunta kay Leonardo.
Yeah, it appears that way po.
Yes.
Kasi nga, yun ang sabi ni Pedro na galing na pinapadala sa kanya.
Okay.
So,
so yun na po, establish natin, yung pera nanggagaling kay Bongo. So, syempre, galing yan kay PRRD. Tama? Kasi dito sa diagram nyo, parang directly in-implicate nyo na si Duterte, Rodrigo Duterte.
Pagdating po, it's just a communication flow, Your Honor. But I do not know kung galing po doon. Basta ang sinabi lang ni Pedro, si Muking ang nagpapadala. So,
Okay,
kung
pero si
saan man
Muking-
kinuha niya, ni Muking, that I do not know. Pero
Yes.
pagdating po kay Bongo po, siya ang bini-meeting ni Sir Leonardo. Siya nagmi-meet sa kanya, nakikipag-arrange.
So, alam naman natin, Mr. Chair, na si Senator Bongo at saka si Senator Ronald Bato ay talagang close yan kay PRRD. Tama? Ms. Garma?
Opo, Mr. Chair, Your
Okay.
Honor.
So ito pong ulitin ko yung pagtatanong dito sa funds. Kasi Mr. Chair, kung napansin ninyo, 2017 hanggang 2022 lumobo ang confidential funds, no, from naging 400 plus billion ang confidential funds. So do you think yung pera po ay isang source po ng pinagkukuhanan ng rewards ay yung confidential funds or intelligence funds?
Ayoko
Miss Garma.
mag-speculate po, Your Honor. Hindi ko po
Okay.
alam kung anong source,
Okay.
Your Honor.
So, kung hindi niyo yun masasabi, obvious naman, Mr. Chair, no? Pagdating dito, no, kay Bongo tsaka kay Ronald Bato, close kay PRRD, at ang flow ng pera mula kay Bongo hanggang kay Muking patungo kay Pedro. At si Leonardo yung bahala dun sa ibang pagbibigyan ng pera. As the matrix show or the flowchart show. Minention mo si Peter Lim. Doon sa affidavit ni Kerwin, parang ini-implicate parang sinasabi doon sa affidavit ni Kerwin na pinapa-implicate si Peter Lim doon sa war on drugs or doon sa droga. Hindi mo minention si Michael Yang. May alam ka ba kay Michael Yang?
Wala po, Your Honor. Kaya ako lang na-mention si Peter Lim because I was assigned in Region 7 at it appeared that he is the biggest drug lord sa Visayas area. That's why siya lang ang naaalala ko as far as Visayas area is concerned.
Okay. So hindi mo alam na baka si Michael Yang ay sa Mindanao area naman?
Wala po akong alam, Your Honor.
Okay. By the way, ang mas mataas sa inyo ni Leonardo ay si Colonel Leonardo, tama? Kayo po yung...
Yes po, class 96 po siya.
Okay, class 9.
Your
Kasi sa affidavit ninyo po, kinausap kayo ni PRRD para bumuo ng task force at naisip ninyo si Leonardo. So,
wala po siyang, hindi siya nagsabi na bubuo kami.
okay, pero naisip niyo po, dahil wala kang experience, si Leonardo yung naisip mo.
Hindi po. Very specific po instruction, operatiba na Iglesia ni Cristo. Definitely it's not me because I'm not an Iglesia ni Cristo, Your Honor. At saka hindi talaga ako operatiba.
Yes, sinabi niyo po kasi sa affidavit ninyo na wala nga kayong experience. Hindi rin kayo Iglesia ni Cristo.
Nagpahanap lang po.
Pero alam ninyo, si Leonardo ay Iglesia. Bakit ba Iglesia ni Cristo? Tinanong mo ba si Presidente? Bakit si Duterte? Bakit Iglesia ni Cristo? Hindi ba? Oo, bakit nga?
Nahiya ako magtanong, Your Honor. Nahiya po ako magtanong. I just complied.
So dahil alam mong Iglesia ni Cristo si Leonardo, siya yung kinontak mo.
As
Siya yung sinabihan,
far as
nasabihan.
during that time po kasi nakita ko kasi operatiba talaga si Sir Leonardo and I worked with him sa CIDG 11. So siya yung una, later part na realize ko pwede siya. So I mentioned his name kasi Iglesia ni Cristo rin siya at medyo may katungkulan siya sa Iglesia. So I think he is qualified, Your Honor.
Okay. So, well, nagswak naman doon sa requirement ni Presidente Duterte, si Leonardo.
Sa tingin ko po na kasi siya naman po na atasan, so perhaps po na qualify po, Your Honor.
Okay. So, dito sa affidavit mo, Mr. Chair, talagang talagang mention si Leonardo as part nung nung flow of payment o ng flow of rewards dito sa war on drugs or sa extrajudicial killings. Tama po ba?
Actually, lahat po ng officers, it's a public knowledge po. Takot lang po sila magsalita. Pero lahat po ng officer na nandito po sa loob, alam po nila yan, public knowledge lang po. Ako lang po naglakas loob magsabi, Mr. Your Honor.
So lahat ng mga officers dito, so ibig sabihin si Marcos, alam niya yan, so lahat ng PNP, si Torre, yung mga yan, alam na po lahat.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Sa PIDEA naman, Mr. Chair, nag-show po kayo ng list, di ba? Merong new list, may original list, may PRRD list, meron yung isa pang category ng listahan. So, dito po sa mga list na to, may mga X. Ibig sabihin po, namatay na po yon. Yung may mga X. So, di ko kilala po yung mga, yung nasa list, no? Ibig bang sabihin nito, ito po ay mga drug lords or ano-ano yung mga category nito? High level target or drug lord, manufacturer, chemist, or whatever? Ano-ano po yung mga niyan, categories po, Mr. Chair?
Hindi kaya, pero in the pictures that were shown in the presentation a while ago, Your Honor, the pictures were labeled as high value targets and Binondo connection. There were two sets of these are the two sets of pictures.
So, yung Binondo
Your Honor.
connection,
Yes.
so ito talagang literally Binondo? Bakit po
That was
tinawag?
how it was labeled, Your Honor. We are just showing to you what we were able to gather.
Okay. So, dito po walang pagdi-distinguish ng high-level target, drug lords or manufacturer. Wala pong pagle-level diyan sa mga listahan.
None, Your Honor. It was just they were just high-value targets.
Pero sinasabi nyo, this is a moving list. May napapalitan, may nalalaglag, merong nadadagdag. Tama po.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
But as far as the pictures are concerned, only additions were done.
Only
But
additions.
nobody was deleted. I mean, if you look at the
Pag
monitor
namatay
now,
na.
ma'am, yeah,
Okay. Pag
on the
namatay
right side,
na, parang wala na.
yeah.
So-
The one in the blue box are additions
Okay.
to the list on the left, to your
Okay.
left.
So PRRD list. So ibig sabihin originally nanggaling kay Duterte ang listahan na ito po, yung nasa Binondo connection.
The three lists, ma'am,
the three
were
lists.
originally called the PRRD list.
So nanggaling lahat.
I mean, the file name was PRRD list and we just adopted it.
Okay. So ito yung mula pa nung umpisa na ipinagmamalaki niya ng mga listahan ng mga narco-politics or mga drug lords. Ito na yon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So ibig sabihin, Mr. Chair, dito sa mga listahan, na-bet niyo na po ba itong mga list na ito?
No, Your Honor. That's the reason why it was being validated every now and then. But when it goes back to the palace, we were informed that when the list goes down, additional names are included. So there is a belief that somebody from the palace or somebody from up there was including names. So it was very difficult to really vet it. But finally, come in the August 2020 list, but it was, when did they start remedied? Can you just show the slide? In 2019, the effort to validate this list started, Your Honor.
Okay, so natapos na po yung pag-validate or na-check?
The validation is continuing, Your Honor.
Pero,
it is still pending.
are you conducting po the investigation po dito sa PRRD list?
Yes, it is ongoing, Your Honor. But you see, there is a remedied committee that is supposed to review this before they submit it to the Executive Secretary for names to be delisted, retained, or to be placed on suspension file. However, this has not been acted upon since the PBBM administration.
So, nandyan po ba si Peter Lim tsaka si Michael Yang sa list?
Michael Yang is not there, Your Honor, but I think Peter Lim is. Let me just double check. But as far as Michael Yang is concerned, he is not in any of the lists.
Peter Lim, yes.
Peter Lim positive, Your Honor.
Pero, you have investigated Michael Yang kasi alam ko parang nag-imbestiga yata ang PIDEA kay Michael Yang at may positive na involvement siya sa drugs.
When I took over in November 2022, Your Honor, I immediately asked for the name Michael Yang if it was listed in our records, but there is no record. Yeah. Negative, Your Honor, for Michael Yang. No hit for Michael Yang, Your Honor.
How about yung kapatid niya po?
None also, Your
None
Honor.
also. Pero syempre, obviously, galing yan kay PRRD. And we know naman that Michael Yang is being protected by PRRD. So mukhang hindi siya talaga list na talagang na talagang hindi bias, di ba? Kasi mayroon nga ngayon ongoing investigation, di ba, kay Michael Yang. So baka unsolicited advice baka pwedeng imbestigahan po ng PIDEA.
Yes, Your Honor, because because of these Quadcom hearings, the connection of the POGO is now, the POGO and the drugs connection is
Yes.
now established.
Yes.
So it is being investigated.
Yes, thank
However,
you po.
Your Honor, let me just explain that in our presentation, we showed that you can tinker with this list. Yeah, you can play with the list. That's the reason why we bring it upstairs and it goes down to us. There are new names listed. But just to take as an example, the names of Mabilog and Wesley Barayuga. So, in other words, this list was being, manipulated without validation. Even if PIDEA was validating it, when it would go up to show the results of our efforts, the list, when it goes down, there are more names added. So that's why, just to make sure, we already joined list 1, 2 to have list number 3.
Okay. Kailan niyo po mababalidate lahat ng mga nakalagay na mga listahan niyo po doon? Kasi parang tingin natin talagang tumitibay yung conclusion namin na parang war between among drug lords ito. So pwede niyo bang maklasify yan as mga drug lords, mga pushers lang or whatever? Pwede bang magawa yon ng PIDEA?
Yes, Your Honor. If you look at the monitor in front of Your Honor, you can see under September 2, 2020, the approval of guidelines and procedures in the conduct of, etc.
Okay.
This is the process that we are showing to you, Your Honor, that it doesn't only take PIDEA to validate this list.
Okay. Sino po
There is this remedied committee, which is composed of the SILG, the DG PIDEA, the Chief of Staff, and the Chief PNP.
Okay.
Unfortunately, as I was saying, during the PBBM administration, this list was never acted upon. That is why we have recommended to the palace that since we are conducting regular barangay drug clearing operations and we are conducting also regular seminar workshops on how we can review our watch list, we were recommending that this remedied list be incorporated in already into our barangay drug clearing program so that they can be validated also. So there is no more need for the remedy, but we are waiting for the palace to act on our recommendation,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, kasi yung mga list nyo na nandiyan, tingin ko mga high value yan, ano. Iba pa kasi yung list ng mga barangay, no? During the drug war ni Duterte. Iba pa yung list na yun. Millions yun eh. Yung mga inaano doon sa nililista ng mga barangay, na mga nai-involve doon sa drugs na sinasabi ay siniseminar. So, wala dyan sa list, no? Iba pa yung list natin sa barangay level.
Yes, Your Honor, we would like to merge all of these lists together so that we will only have one list.
Well, hindi po. Pwede natin pag-ibahin, di ba, yung mga listahan sa barangay. Kasi 1 million yun eh, doon sa report na nakita natin during the previous hearings. So, 1 million po yan. Mga ano to, no? Katulad yan, mga may hirap na extrajudicial killed. No, yun po. Tapos ihahalo nyo dyan sa listahan na mga narcolist yan, mga ano, baka ganun po ba? I-merge nyo lahat ito?
Your Honor, the 1 million plus names that you are mentioning
In the
is
barangay.
just an estimate of the total number of I think drug users in the Philippines. There are no names, Your Honor. But we do our barangay drug clearing program, we have names. And
Yes, pero Mr. Chair, obvious naman eh, ang mga napapatay, mga mahihirap. Yung more or less from 3,000 yan hanggang 30,000 yan na estimated number of EJKs o namatay, ay karamihan doon ay mga mahihirap po. Kaya nga sinasabi natin, ang war on drugs ni Duterte ay war on drugs lang laban sa mga mahihirap. At ito ay labanan ng mga drug lords, ng mga kompetensyahan sa mga droga. So may ganun ba kayong investigation na nakita ninyo na nagkaroon talaga ng competition between drug lords?
Your Honor, we did not see any indication towards that, the competition concept. Because, again, the difficulty of having so many lists is that the list is very active. It's changing every now and then. And sometimes it happens that somebody is involved in a drug operation and he is not included in the list. So that was the difficulty during the drug campaign, Your Honor.
Sige. Pero ito po, no, nakita niyo naman, more than 30,000 ang namatay dito sa EJK, sa estimate siya ng Human Rights Watch. No, sa pulis naman, 6,000 dun sa kanilang listahan. So, napapansin niyo po, no, mas maraming namatay na mga inosente, yung mga users lang, no, yung mga street pushers kaysa doon sa mga drug lord o malalaking supplier ng droga. So ang ibig ko sabihin, Mr. Chair, dito ma-intensify niyo po, no, yung pinagkukuhanan ng droga, no, yung operations dapat ay ma-intensify yung sources ng mga droga, like yung nagma-manufacture, etc. So yun lang po, Mr. Chair. Thank you po.
Thank you, Congresswoman Castro. The next interpellator is Congressman Romy Acop.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Iksihan ko na lang dahil alas 11 na eh.